This gonna be some serious shit. I'm gonna talk about this one time because I woke up and I realized what day it is. This gonna be the only time I'm ever gonna talk about it ever. It's this and two other things that's happened to me in my life that I do the best to block it out my motherfucking head, pretend it never happened, and never think about it. That's how I deal with it, and it works good for me. I'm gonna tell you the other two stories as time progresses. Hey, so I was out there running the streets and being crazy and shit, and I had my boyfriend, the one that was named John Wayne after the cowboy and shit. We done choked up a lot of fucking charges and all this and that. We was running from the police and shit, and I found out I was pregnant, bitch. So I'm gonna be honest, I really was like, I think I need to have an abortion because my life is fucked up. I'm a motherfucking drug addict and shooting up with needles and shit. You know, I barely take care of my other two kids. They back there stuff for my mama having to pick up my slack. But I don't believe in abortion, so I just decided that I would not have one. Some police caught up with us. I don't know if y'all listen to all my story times, but we robbed that place in North Carolina. I had to go to the North Carolina jail. He had to go to the Pickens jail because he had a shit ton of charges in Pickens, the baby daddy. He got sentenced to 8 years. He was in prison this whole entire time. I ended up leaving his ass while he was in there. I got bonded out of the jail in North Carolina after sitting in there for I think like 2 weeks, and then I came home. You know, I was pregnant. My baby daddy in jail. I just came back sober. So I turned my whole motherfucking life around. I was no longer in the streets. I went to church every Sunday. I just gave it all to God. Here I am. Jesus changed me. I mean, I really loved him with all my heart. I was doing everything I possibly could to live for God. I had my baby. His name was Malachi. He was so sweet. I loved him so much, and I was doing so good and living for God. I was paying my tithes. I was doing my life. So my first baby daddy, he usually strung out and not around, but at this point in time, he was doing good and trying to be a daddy. It was his weekend to do something with the kids, so I was getting the kids ready, and I was watching Ron Carpenter, that preacher from Redemption Church, on my computer. He was telling his story, and I don't even remember what the story was about, but he said through great pain comes great purpose, and I was like, oh, this man's talking to me. This is a word from God. Let me put this in my head. I even wrote it down. And you know, because I had got sober and I was doing good and living for God, I didn't have no life, no social life at all. Kind of like now. My first baby daddy was like, you just want to chill with us? I'm like, yeah, I want to chill with y'all. Look, we got some beer. It was only like a 6-pack. I haven't drunk in like forever. You know, I was like on this shit where even drinking was a fucking sin, bitch. I drink now trying to live for God, but fuck, I drank 2 beers. I would hate to think that God is such a punishing God that he would do this, so no, we're not gonna blame it on that. I remember standing outside talking to my baby daddy and my kids, and they had went back inside, and the lightning in the sky was so weird. The lightning lit up in a strange way, and I felt in my soul something bad was gonna happen. I don't even want to tell this part because I feel so ashamed and so embarrassed and so fucked up and just so mentally fucked up. Like, cause this whole shit is my fucking fault, bro. So my other 2 kids went to sleep, and my first baby daddy went in there and slept in the bed with them. They was like, do you want to sleep in here? Hell no, I don't want to sleep in the bed with my baby daddy. Fuck you talking about? So I took me and my other son, Malachi, and we went to the couch to sleep, bitch. I learned the fucking hard way. You do not sleep with your children. Even though I slept with all my fucking kids in the bed with me every time since they were born till, you know, they got big. So anyways, morning came around and I woke up, looked beside me, and for some reason he wasn't at the beginning of the couch. He ended up at the bottom of the couch. I do not know how he fucking got down there. Okay, and he was face down flat, and I fucking touched him and he was cold. So then I picked him up and his eyes were closed. So I kept opening his eyes, screaming, wake up, wake up. I just kept screaming, wake up, me, wake up. Then I just screamed at the fucking top of my lungs, and my baby daddy came in there and he was like calling 911. They tried to do CPR. I was just screaming at the top of my lungs, fucking hysterical. I ran outside and I fell on the ground and I said, dear God, I gave my whole life to you. I gave my whole life to you. I changed my whole entire life. I gave my whole life to you. And this is how you gonna do me. I know you're not gonna take my child. And the ambulance got there, so I went and I got in the ambulance, and I remember calling my cousin Jennifer, and I was like, look, just pray. And I told her the situation, and we prayed the whole way down there. So I got to the hospital, we got into this room, and I watched them try to bring him back, and they couldn't do nothing. So, you know, they told me he was dead, and they were like, do you want to sit in here with the body? My whole family was already on the way up there, but they hadn't got up there yet. So I was like, no, I don't want to sit in here with the body because he's dead. He's not in the body. That's a shell. I do not want to sit in there. I went into the room across the hall. I remember going into a corner and sitting underneath the table in the corner and calling my friend Red Top and just screaming and crying. Before I had my son, my family was dead on, you need to get your tubes tied. I was young as fuck, strung out, shooting up drugs, you know what I'm saying, trying to change my life. I honestly wasn't sure about that decision, but I went ahead and did it because they was like, you're not bringing no kids home. Just a lot of stuff. I do not blame them. It's so hard for me not to blame them, but they really taught me into it. So I'm just gonna tell you, that's a bad decision. Never do it. It's the worst decision you can ever make. But if you're young, you do not know what you want later in life. You have no idea because your life be fucked up sometimes when you're young. I started screaming at the top of my motherfucking lungs, I can't have no more kids again. Oh, you know, God just carried me through that. He was still with me. I didn't blame myself as bad as I should have blamed myself because it was all my fault. But I was walking and I was toting and I was carrying a big ass motherfucking burden, okay? Still did so good for a little while, and then I got bored and I took my tithes money that I was gonna give to the church, and instead of going to church that Sunday, I went to the dope house and I bought me some meth. I started smoking meth, and then I started shooting needles in my goddamn arm again. I just went the other way down motherfucking hill. Alright, I was a strung out motherfucking drug addict, way worse than I've ever been. Hit the streets, I barely came home. I wasn't seeing my kids like I was supposed to. I was fucked up, bitch. Just like every time I get real strung out, it slowly balances itself out and I become, you know, a strung out drug addict who can almost function. I got with my boyfriend, the Chris dude, I did all the psychotic shit too. You know, he helped me balance myself out real good. So then, you know, I was doing real good by my kids, this and that. And I just maybe deep down inside I didn't want to be with him. So, you know, so then I hit the street. So then I woke up one day and realized what I had dealt into my life. I don't know how to say this, but this is an issue that lies deep down inside of me that fucking drowns me in depression. So we're gonna talk about it, okay? Because I'm sorry for all y'all white people in my inbox, this and that, but usually I like to fuck with black dudes. That's what I like. So I got on meth, and you know, for a long time with no black people on meth, so I was out there stringing in white girls, so I started fucking white boys. Hell, half of them was gay. My kids are white, but I love them with everything in me. You do not understand. My kids are the only reason that I get up and keep going, and like they're the only reason that I breathe. They're the only reason that I try. I would just give up. I want little black babies so bad. And then I got my fucking tubes tied, and I fucking hate myself because of this. And you don't understand that I fucking hate myself because of this. Like, I wish to God I would have never listened to nobody. It was the worst decision of my life. I was fucking young as fuck. I wasn't even out of my 20s yet, bitch. Somehow my fucked up psychological brain is mad at my fucking baby for fucking dying, and because I got my tubes tied, and I never think about him. And instead, when I think about the situation, I get full of anger instead of sadness. So I was a fucked up drug addict, so I really couldn't get my life together. But I was studying that procedure that you had to have, you know, to reverse your tubes being tied. And I found a gay black boy, and I was like, okay, you want to have a baby? We'll do this surgery. But I ended up in prison instead. He was my best friend, and it maybe would have worked. I don't know. Hey, James. Hey, so when I got in jail in prison, I really fucking prayed about this situation. I know God replaces everything that the devil took. Don't he, Lord, I gave my life to God. You think he replaced what he took away from me when I was trying to serve? It got to the point where I just take somebody else's kid. Hell, I'll date you just to raise your motherfucking kid and be really nice to your baby mama. Like that's my best friend, ho. The kid can even be bigger. We'll just pretend I was there the whole time. Fuck. They're trying to put my sons on these little black girls. They can't have these little black grandbabies, you know. So I told God I would not give myself away so freely. Would he just please send me a husband? All right, I did so good. Like, I really did so good. I was gonna wait till marriage. That worked so well, but then, you know, I gave up some coochie. But only to one person. I've only gave up some coochie to like one person in 7 years. I'm just praying and hoping God sends me my future husband, and I can figure out who it's supposed to be, and everything will work out. That's pretty much what we're doing now. We are waiting for the future husband. Now, I'm not even mad at God because I was serving him with all my heart, and then, you know, my son died. Lots of bad stuff happened to lots of people in the Bible. But God told me the day before it happened, through great pain comes great purpose. And I've noticed in my little prayer prayer book that I had in prison. And slowly but surely, God has answered every single prayer. So I know that He will replace the things that my heart needs. And I know that He knows what I need in my life. And it's not always what I ask for. So He will give me what I need. And I'm just waiting on that. Today is the anniversary of my son's death. So I thought I would tell you this story. It's the only time I'll ever fucking talk about it. Because it's too much for me. You feel me? But anyways, it's also my friend Terry Lynn's birthday. Happy birthday, bitch. I love you. Y'all be blessed, okay?